you know, the government of Rwanda has adopted a strategy of MICE, which is meeting, incentive, conferences, and exhibitions. So going forward, there is no way we would be helping as a directorate.
All right.
Or also as a government, there will be no way we would be implementing the MICE strategy without allowing free movement, increasing the number of people who could get access to the country. So that will be helping a lot in terms of trade, in terms of business meetings, in terms of people coming to do conferences here in Rwanda.
All right. Give me a look at the past performance and what we're looking at as of latest.
Previously, in the 2017 report, Rwanda ranked as the 9th on the index, and now we are ranking as 3rd. That's due to the increase of number of countries, you know, number of countries that get free visa to the country.
All right.
You know, this index report is ranked according to 3 categories. One is countries that have free visa to that country. Second is visa on arrival. Third is visa prior to departure. And
these are some of the, of course, measures that led to this particular achievement?
Yes.
All right.
Now, the reason why the index to Rwanda increased is because the government of Rwanda engaged other African countries to increase, through bilateral cooperation, to increase, not with a particular to increase the number of countries, but with an intention of having our citizens having access to our countries easily. So it's in that framework that we've managed to have other countries have agreements with them where Rwandans can go without having to pay a visa, and also their citizens can come to Rwanda and enter the country without having to pay the visa.
And how does this have an impact on the trade between, of course, Rwanda and other countries, but also the tourism that Rwanda has a lot targets? We're looking at about $800 million just as of 2020. Tell me how, 2020, if I'm not mistaken, tell me, how does this openness and, of course, this index that we saw coming in, of course, putting Rwanda at the 3rd position, help boost the tourism and trade of the country moving forward?
Let me give you a typical example of what happens between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
All right.
We have a cross-border trade, which goes up to the number of people entering and exit is about 55 persons per day. And most of these people who are entering and exit, their purpose of movement is cross-border trade. So if there was a visa between Rwanda and Congo, citizens of Rwanda going to DRC or Congolese coming to Rwanda, the influx or the movement of trade and people within the 2 countries will be low.
Are we looking at it from the Gisenyi border, yes, or that of Rusizi?
The 2.
Oh.
If you look at the 2, there I'm taking only one comparison of the border with at the border between Rubavu and Goma.
And Goma, yeah.
But if you look at the border between Rwanda and DRC, at the Rusizi and Bukavu border,
Entry, yeah,
it's the same framework. It's, if you see the number of people crossing to the 2 sides for business purpose, had there been a requirement for a visa for citizens to do business in the 2 countries, the number of people doing business will be low.
But how significant is this to Rwanda's economy?
I don't have here with me the figures of trade between the 2 countries.
Okay.
But the 2016 report of the National Bank of Rwanda indicated that the cross-border trade is more than $300 million.
There is, of course, a perception that the over-openness of Rwanda could lead to security threats and also employment issues and more others. Is this more of a real scenario or something that is just a misconception?
I would assume it is more of a misconception for good reasons. Number one, if a person is moving, if a person is allowed in the country, it does not mean that that person is coming to take a job.
All right.
Because there is another framework of how a person got a job in Rwanda. There are only 2 possibilities where in which a foreigner can get to work in Rwanda. Number one is whether that person is on what we call occupation on demand list. That is a list of occupations that have been approved by the cabinet, that foreigners can come to work in those specific occupations, because we have a low number of Rwandans who have skills in those jobs, in those occupations. The second possibility is where a company established in Rwanda would indicate to the Directorate General of Immigration and Immigration that it has failed to get a Rwandese who can occupy a certain job, and then request to recruit a foreigner abroad to come and occupy that job. So there are only those two possibilities under which a person can come and work in Rwanda.
All right.
Otherwise, they are moving for tourism, they are moving for trade, they are moving to see opportunities, then come and settle depending on the laws of the country.
Before I let you go, what does the future hold for Rwanda? Of course, we're looking at openness, but some other countries are moving for protectionism. Like the United States, it's quite very hard now to get into the U.S., but countries like Rwanda are opening up for literally everyone. Tell me, what does the future hold?
Now, I'm not here to talk on behalf of the United States of America.
No, just for Rwanda,
But what Rwanda means, I will paraphrase what our heads of state and our leaders keep on saying, that Rwanda means business. So it's not that we are opening to cause or to, not for any other reason, but we are opening to allow tourism to grow, to allow trade to grow, and the whole country, in the whole GDP of the country, benefits out of it. To paraphrase what His Excellency the President of the Republic once said, he said, we have seen more people coming into Rwanda across the continent, and most of them are as good as we have expected. And if there are anyone involved in the wrongdoing, the laws of the country will catch up with them. So the opening is not a myth.
All right.
It's an opening for a growth, which we are seeing in tourism, which we are seeing in trade.